Hey guys, today I wanted to go over Archetype Nolly X. I've noticed it has quite a bit of a different sound signature, so I wanted to make this video for people who are about to upgrade or thinking of upgrade who didn't yet. Just as a bit of a warning, just because there is quite a bit of a difference in the sound signature of each plugin. So over here I loaded up some instances of Archetype Nolly and Archetype Nolly X, where you're going to see OG, that's the original, X is going to be the update. So I'm going to start off with a distortion tone, and to me it was quite noticeable right away, so I'll let these two play. So yeah, I don't know if you heard, to me it was pretty apparent, but I find the new update makes everything sound really thin. So I'll play it one more time. The thing I've noticed right away is it's missing like girth and balls, you know? It's pretty thin sounding, also a little boxy. We'll go into the settings and everything's pretty much the same here. That's the original. Go to X. You're gonna notice there's a plus 5 dB output. Apparently that's just because these are quieter models now. You're gonna notice here, even though I loaded in the exact same preset, the overdrive pedal has a bit of different settings. I'm not sure why, so I'll try to put these to the same and see what happens, but if I remember correctly, it's still pretty much gonna be the same. It's not gonna bring back the original sound, so let's try it out. So yeah, it's still the same. It's still that kind of boxy, scooped-ish sound. Just gonna take a look at the cabs real quick, and as you can see, everything is pretty much the same. The only thing that's really changed is the mic level, but again, there's a plus 5 dB on the new one just because they've changed the output level in general of the speakers. So now I'm gonna move on to like a first fret breakdown, palm muted breakdown. And here to me it gets really apparent. So I don't know if you heard, I find that it got really muddy in the upper mids. It's this weird kind of boxiness and shrill frequencies that you didn't really have before. So let's listen to that one more time and see if you notice. So yeah, to me that's pretty damn apparent. Again, I still prefer the original in this case. It just sounds a lot more clean and less boxy. That's pretty much the issue I'm having mainly with this. So now I'm gonna move on to like a more generic riff. This is gonna be no palm muting, so it's gonna be just picking different strings so you can hear the individual strings and how they're cutting through. So I'm getting the same issues again across the board. It's the upper mids that sound really shrill and the low end is not as tight and focused. We'll give it one more go just to have a listen again. So listen to this last part over here, the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. That gets really muddy, I find. You start to lose a lot of the detail. I find it just crunchy and boxy. So that's something I've been noticing the whole time with this plugin. So now we're going to be moving on to the clean tones. There's also quite a big difference here that I've noticed, so we'll check this out. So if you notice, the reverb seems to be a lot more lush and wet, I would say. I wouldn't say it's as detrimental as the heavy tone that I have. Some people can prefer or like having more or less lushy reverb wet tone. But it just comes down to the fact that my main issue with this plugin is that it's such a drastic difference. You've taken time, you know, how many years this plugin's been out to really craft your preset, and you go for the upgrade and pretty much all of it's changed. Now, is it to say this is a bad upgrade? I don't think so. If you're gonna be purchasing it for the first time, I still think it's a really good update. Again, more in the issue lies that you've had this for many years, you're really accustomed to something, and then all of a sudden it really changes overnight. To me, personally, I'll be sticking with the original because it's something I'm really used to, and not only that, I just genuinely prefer the tone. I have tried tweaking the new one to sound like the original, and honestly, I just can't get it to work. I can't reproduce that really tight low end, and that boxiness remains an issue. I've tried everything from EQ to the parameters, but to no avail, unfortunately. Another issue is that the fact that the X's are now compatible with quad cortex. So you took your time to make these presets and everything again, like I just said, and now you go plug it in, you upload it to your quad cortex, and it sounds completely different. I could see that definitely being a pain in the butt. For me, as someone who doesn't tour or anything like that, it's not really a big issue, but if you're someone who is super stoked, you put out great music, and you're excited to bring, let's say, your songs, the presets that you've had for your songs or demos onto your quad cortex to go play live, it's gonna sound different. Now, again, all this to say, this isn't a bad update, but it's worth being mindful. For me, I'm gonna be sticking with the original as opposed to the X. And it kind of sucks because you know, I don't get the nice transpose feature, I don't get the new cab sims, which are sounding super cool, and you can get super sick tones. But again, it's just something I'm more comfortable with, and I prefer the tones. I hope this is something Neural looks at and maybe does an update for, because to me, it's quite the drastic tone. I've also made a post on Reddit to see if I was the only one experiencing this, and pretty much seems like other people are having this issue as well. So leave a comment below if you've experienced the same thing. Are you noticing the drastic change like I have and some other people have? Or are you really excited about the new X? So if you've enjoyed this review, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future videos.